नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। निर्रतिर्नाम पश्चाद्वास। Okay, this is 4:25:53. Can you turn on this fan towards me? निर्रतिर्नाम पश्चाद्वास तया याति पुरञ्जनः वैशसं नाम विषयं लुब्धकेन समन्वितः। निर्रतिर्नाम पश्चाद्वास तया याति पुरञ्जनः वैशसं नाम विषयं लुब्धकेन समन्वितः। निर्रतिर्नाम पश्चाद्वास तया याति पुरञ्जनः वैशसं नाम विषयं लुब्धकेन समन्वितः। Nirritihi, of the name Nirriti. Nama, called. Paschat, western. Dvaha, gate. Taya, by which. Yati, used to go. Puranjanaha, King Puranjana. Vaishasam, of the name Vaishasa. Nama, called. Vishayam, to the place. Lubdhakena, by the friend named Lubdhaka. Samanvitaha, accompanied. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Another gate on the western side was known as Nirriti. Puranjana used to go through this gate to the place known as Vaishasa, accompanied by his friend Lubdhaka. This is reference to the rectum. The rectum is supposed to be situated on the western side of the eyes, nose and ears. This gate is especially meant for death. When an ordinary living entity abandons his present body, he passes through the rectum. It is therefore painful. When one is called by nature to evacuate, one also experiences pain. The friend of the living entity who accompanies him through this gate is named Lubdhaka, which means greed. Due to our greed, we eat unnecessarily, and such gluttony causes pain at the time of evacuation. The conclusion is that the living entity feels well if he evacuates properly. This gate is known as Nirriti, or the painful gate. Verse 54. Andhavamisham Paurana Nirvakteshaskrita Ubho Akshnavatam Adipati Tabhyam Yati Karoti Cha. Of the many inhabitants of this city, there are two persons named Nirvak and Peshaskrit. Although King Puranjana was a ruler of citizens who possessed eyes, he unfortunately used to associate with these blind men. Accompanied by them, he used to go here and there and perform various activities. This is a reference to the arms and legs of the living entity. The two legs do not speak and they are blind. If a person simply trusts his legs to take him walking, he is likely to fall into a hole or bump into something. Thus, led by the blind legs, one's life may be placed in jeopardy. Of the senses that are working, the hands and legs are very important, but they have no eyes to see. This means that in the hands and legs there are no holes. In the head there are many holes, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears and 1 mouth. But lower down in the arms and legs there are no holes. Consequently, the arms and legs have been described as andha, blind. Although the living entity has many holes in this body, he nonetheless has to work with his hands and arms. Although the living entity is the master of many other senses, when he has to go somewhere to do something or touch something, he has to use his blind legs and hands. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamana Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sriva Sadhvaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarani Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vandavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karati Vachalam Bangam Langaite Girim Netravatamaham Nande Shri Guru Dinataranam Hare Krishna. Welcome all of you for Srimad Bhagavatam class today morning. So we are continuing the section of Puranjana. So Puranjana's the Pura, the city of Puranjana is being described here. The city has 9 gates. So the 8 gates are described and the last gate is being described in today's verse. Because the living entity wants to enjoy this world, so he enjoys through these senses, the knowledge acquiring senses and karmendriyas, the working senses. And all these senses, they interact with this material world and try to enjoy this material world. Enjoy or eventually suffer in this material world. So, like yesterday, Kaustubh was discussing about genitals. Before that, all the senses on the holes on the top were described. The 2 eyes, ears, nostrils and the mouth. They are facing the eastern direction. Generally, eastern direction is considered to be auspicious. Especially these 5 senses are facing the eastern direction. Then the southern direction, northern direction and the western direction. The western direction, southern and northern direction, the 2 ears are there. The right ear in the south, the left ear in the north. So, and the southern direction is the direction towards hell. The western direction. Because here Nirrati Namaha. Paschadvaha. The gate in the western direction is Nirrati. Tayayati Puranjanaha. And where he goes? Vaishasam Nama Vishayam. He goes to a place called Vishayam, where Vishavastu, the sense objects, are available. So the place is called Vaishasa, where Vishavastu, objects are available. And he has his friend with whom he goes. Puranjana of the soul, when he has to go to any place through the senses, he has some friend with whom he goes. And we need company to do anything. So the soul also needs company. And in the western direction, especially through this gate of Nirrati, a friend called Lubdhaka, means greed, a greedy person. So the greed inspires a person to work hard to gain material objects for sense gratification. So that greed is the friend, and which leads him eventually to suffering. Lubdhakena samanvidaha. So the greed is also compared to pain, the pain experienced during evacuating. And who experiences pain while evacuating? Person who is not controlled in eating habits. One is not regulated in eating habits, he experiences pain or constipation, in modern terminology. So very prevalent disease nowadays because people are not controlled in eating habits. They eat anything, everything at any time. Because of this, the digestive system gets spoiled, and then people have a great difficulty evacuating. That pain is compared to the pain of greed. Greed is also painful because to achieve the object for which he is greedy, he has to work hard. And working hard is painful. Just like evacuating for a constipated person is painful. So working hard is also painful. So as it said in Bhagavad Gita, Trividam Narakassedam Dwaram Nashanam Atmanaha Kama Krodha Tata Lobha Tasmat Etatrayam Tyajet. So Krishna says there are three gates to hell: Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Anybody who succumbs to these three things has to go to hell, because he will end up doing sinful activities. Right? Yesterday, the whole discussion was about lust, how a lusty person commits sinful activities, being a slave of his senses, genitals, and then he goes to hell. We saw about Ajamila, how he got attracted to a prostitute and his ticket to hell was confirmed. He was going. But somehow by the grace of Narayana's holy name, he was saved. So many examples can be given about person who is lusty. But today we will discuss about a person who is greedy. Yes, can you think of a famous person who is greedy? Duryodhana was greedy, and Hiranyakashipu. The word Hiranya itself indicates greed for wealth. He wanted gold. Wherever he saw, whatever he saw, he wanted to enjoy. Right? He was thinking himself to be the lord of everything he serves. Actually, he wanted to be the king of the entire world, the entire universe. That was the desire of Hiranyakashipu. So Narasimha Jayanti is coming. I thought we can discuss a little bit about the character of Hiranyakashipu. So as the name itself indicates, Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means sex life, soft bed. So Hiranyakashipu is a person who is lusty and greedy both. That's what the name indicates. So and he was greedy, and he wanted to possess the entire universe. And he wanted to kill God and become God. That was the ambition of Hiranyakashipu. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, right, he is, the seventh canto begins by describing the character of Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Varahadeva. That is described in detail in the third canto of Bhagavatam. But the story begins by describing that Hiranyaksha was killed and the wives of Hiranyaksha are lamenting, they're crying, that their husband is gone. And the scene is the battlefield. In the battlefield, Hiranyaksha is lying dead and all the women are crying. So at that time, of course, one boy who is Yamaraj himself, he comes to pacify them. And then later on, Hiranyakashipu also speaks wonderful philosophy to pacify the wives of Hiranyaksha. And he speaks such philosophy of soul, it appears as if it's a device session, discovery sub-session going on. And he speaks such wonderful philosophy. But at the end, he concludes saying that my brother has been killed by Lord Vishnu, so I have to take revenge, and I will kill Lord Vishnu. So that was his conclusion. So the demons, like Hiranyakashipu, right, they may be learned, they may be intelligent, they may be scholarly, big scientists also. But the mentality of Hiranyakashipu is he was against Lord Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Smrdodaiva Asurastad Viparyaya. Those who are in line with the desire of Lord Vishnu, they are called Devatas, Bhaktas. And those who are not in line with the desire of Lord Vishnu, they are called as Asuras. जो भगवान के सुर में सुर मिलाते हैं उनको कहते हैं सुर, बाकी सब असुर, right? So one has to be in line with the desire of Lord Vishnu, otherwise they are called asuras, asurastad viparyaya. So then, now Hiranyakashipu wanted to become powerful, so he went to do tapasya. And he did such severe tapasya that by the power of his tapasya only the entire universe started burning. And he was standing on one tip of his toes, and then he was raising his hands like this, with eyes pointed upwards. Such severe tapasya he did for thousands of years, that from his head fire started emanating. It appeared as if it was a fire of devastation, and all the upper planetary systems are feeling the heat of it. See, one bad person doing tapasya can cause disturbance to the entire world. Even like one terrorist can create so much disturbance to the entire country, isn't it? So such kind of terror Hiranyakashipu was creating in the entire world. So much so that all the devatas also became afraid and they took shelter of Lord Brahma. So there is one section in Ishopanishad where Prabhupada compares Hiranyakashipu to a so he started creating terror in the entire world. From the Puranas, we learn of the activities of Hiranyakashipu, Prabhupada is telling. A king who was very much advanced materially, wanting to conquer cruel death by his material acquisitions and the strength of his nescience, he underwent a type of meditation so severe that the inhabitants of all the planetary systems became disturbed by his mystic power. And he forced the creator of the universe, the demigod Brahma, to come down to him. So much terror he created. Not only for India, but he created terror for entire universe and other planets also. And all the devatas became afraid. They went to Brahma. So Brahma said, I will handle this situation. He came and he asked him, what do you want? And then Hiranyakashipu said, I want a boon that I should never die. Right? Amara. He wanted to be Amara, deathless. Brahma said that he could not award the benediction because even he, the material creator, who rules all planets, is not Amara. I am not Amara. How can I make you Amara? I can give something which I have. If I don't have something, then how can I give? So Brahma lives for a long time, but still he has to die. So Brahma said, no, I cannot make you Amara. So then Hiranyakashipu tried to use the best of his intelligence to make himself Amara. Right? So Prabhupada says that, elsewhere he says that he put conditions, so many conditions. Right? I should not die in the sky, nor on the land, nor inside home, nor outside the home, nor by any weapons, living or dead, nor by any animal or human, day nor night. So he put all these conditions and tried to become immortal. Similarly, materialistic people are also wanting to become immortal by using science and technology and so much advanced medicines. They're trying, but they can never become immortal. Because the body is always temporary, so the body cannot be immortal. So, but he tried to put all these conditions, and Brahma said, okay, tadastu, so wait. After he got this boon, Hiranyakashipu started further little more terrorism. The whole chapter is dedicated. The whole chapter name is Hiranyakashipu terrorizes the universe. Right? And it's applicable to the current situation in Bharat also. Right? So terrorists always want to create trouble to others. Even to innocent people, they want to create trouble. If there are aggressors, yes, they can be killed, but innocent people cannot be killed, and innocent animals also cannot be killed. So killing such innocent animals and humans is actually act of terrorism. And Hiranyakashipu started doing exactly this. He started troubling innocent people, right? Especially Brahmanas and cows. It is said here. Even Kamsa also was like that. He also started. He ordered to kill children. Actually, the 5 weaklings have to be protected always, isn't it? Who are the 5 weaklings? Children, women, old people, Brahmanas and cows. These are the 5. Children, women, Brahmanas, old people and cows. These 5 are the weaklings of the society. And these 5 have to be protected by the Kshatriyas, or in society in general has to protect them. Kshatrayate iti Kshatriya. One who protects others from difficulties is called as a Kshatriya. One who protects others from external dangers is called as a Kshatriya. And the rulers of the country are Kshatriyas. Previously there was king, and nowadays we have ministers, but they are playing the role of a Kshatriya. They have been appointed, they have been selected. And their duty is to protect the common people in general, especially these 5 weak people. And anywhere in any society, if there is exploitation of these 5 people, you will see that society cannot be peaceful or happy. If in a society women are unsheltered and not protected, then that is, and you will see that whole society will be disturbed. If any place the cows are not happy, it means that there is no good governance happening. If the children are feeling insecure, then there is no good governance. If any country where these 5 weaklings are feeling sheltered and protected, that community is happy community. And Krishna is pleased with such community, and he will bless with further opulence. Right? If somebody is taking care of cows very nicely and protecting them nicely, then you will see that Krishna will be happy with that service, and more opulence and blessings will follow. But on the other hand, you see that Hiranyakashipu started creating difficulties to everyone. He went to Indraloka, he troubled Indra, took his post. He went to all the Devatas' homes, he removed them from this post and he took the control of that post. And he said that these Devatas, they were engaged in service of Sri Hiranyakashipu. Shri Radha Venuji ki jai, Shri Jagannath Sudramani ki, Shri Govinda ki, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. And he was always drunk. Narada is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj, "Oh my dear King Yudhishthira, Hiranyakashipu was always drunk on strong smelling wines and liquors. And therefore his coppery eyes were always rolling. He was always intoxicated. Nonetheless, because he had powerfully executed great austerities in mystic yoga, although he was abominable, all but the three principal demigods, Brahma, Shiva and Vishnu, except these three, all devatas worshipped him. He became so powerful. All devatas worship stopped and all devatas started worshipping Hiranyakashipu. So, such was the power of Hiranyakashipu. Right? My dear Yudhishthira, by his personal power, Hiranyakashipu being situated on the throne of Indra controlled all the inhabitants in all the planets. The two Gandharvas, Vishwavasu and Tumburu, and Narada says, I myself, and Vidyadharas, Apsaras and sages all offered prayers to him again and again just to glorify him. And Narada was also part of this. The Asuras sometimes become so powerful that they can even engage Narada Muni and similar devotees in their service. Right? We see that even sometimes devotees, you see the case of Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they are great devotees and Brahmanas, but they were forced to engage in the service of Navabhusensha helplessly. Of course, that was temporary. It is not that always they had to serve them. They didn't like, even Narada Muni did not like. Sometimes, however, it happens, Prabhupada says. Sometimes, however, it happens in this material world that great personalities, even great devotees, can also be controlled by asuras. But that is only for time being. But eventually, Krishna will come and rectify the situation. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and freed Rupa and Sanatana Goswami from the employment of Navabhusensha, and then they completely surrendered their life to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service. So, being worshipped by sacrifices offered with great gifts by those who strictly followed the principles of Varna and Ashrama, Hiranyakashipu, instead of offering shares of oblations to the demigods, accepted them himself. Right? When any Brahmana does any puja, he offers a share to Indra, to Vayu, to Varuna, to Agni, so all the devatas get their share. But Hiranyakashipu took all the shares and he didn't give to anyone. This is the mentality, this is greed. Right? People should share and enjoy, but Hiranyakashipu, only I will enjoy, nobody else can enjoy. And all other devatas were starving. Actually, all the devatas, they get their supply by the yajnas done by people here. Right? If people on earth, they don't do yajna, then Indra will not have the stock. Like if we don't pay tax to the government, then the government will not have any money to do development activities like roads and dams, for defense. All that comes by the tax which the citizens pay. So then government can take care of other things. Similarly, if people on earth, they don't do yajna, then devatas will not have anything to supply us. So the stock of Indra's water, rain, all was getting empty. So they didn't get anything. And even Mother Earth was fearful of Hiranyakashipu. So she started producing for the pleasure of Hiranyakashipu all kinds of foods, even unseasonal. Right? He wanted custard apple in summer season. It came. So like that, unseasonal fruits also Hiranyakashipu was able to produce. And even when he wanted rain, he looked at the sky, immediately clouds formed and started raining. If it was too hot, he looked at the sun. Kam karo thoda. So the sun became mild. So that was the kind of control Hiranyakashipu got. And he was thoroughly exploiting his powers. So then Hiranyakashipu would start traveling all over the world in different places and gardens of the devatas, and he was enjoying. He thought that he is enjoying, but Narada Muni says he was suffering. Saitam nirjata kakahu ekarad vishayan priyan vishaya priyan, sense gratifier. Hiranyakashipu, Ekarat, the only king of the universe. Yathopajosham bhunjanam, he tried to enjoy as much as possible anything which he got. Na tripyat ajitatmana, ajitendriya. Although he tried to enjoy unlimitedly to the farthest extent possible, still he was not satisfied. Na tripyat. This is the nature of sense gratification. It can never be satisfied. You keep doing sense gratification, you want more and more and more, and there is no end to it. Right? Kaustubha was quoting one shloka yesterday. That this is the nature of material enjoyment. That you cannot give up a material desire by indulging in it. Cannot. The only way to give up the material desire is to tolerate the desire. Shaknoti hayavyassodam prakshariravi mokshanat kama krodha udbhavam vegam sayukta sa sukhinara. On the other hand, dushpurena analena cha. If one indulges in sense gratification, and it is like burning fire, you keep pouring ghee into it. Pouring ghee is compared to indulging in sense gratification. More it becomes, more it blazes. So one cannot stop fire by putting ghee into it. Similarly, one cannot give up material desire by indulging in it. How to give it up? Tolerate it. Shaknoti haiva yassodum. Till how long we should tolerate? 1 year, 2 years? Until death, he says. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Shaknoti havyasodam praksharira vimokshana. And what should one tolerate? Kama, krodha, udbhavam, vegam. The vegas or the agitations which are coming out of kama and krodha, agitations come in the mind, so one should tolerate it at the level of mind and one should not allow it to come to the level of senses. Right? If one is able to tolerate these things in the mind, handle it in the mind, then it will go away. Like an itch, right? If you tolerate it, it will go away. But if you scratch it, you want to scratch more. Once you start scratching, you want to scratch more and more and more and more, and ultimately blood will start coming, and then it pains. So the nature of this sense gratification is like a itch. So one should tolerate it. How long? Till one dies. Because he is tolerating, he is not indulging, he is not generating any sinful karma. If one indulges in sinful activities, then he has to take again birth to suffer those sinful reactions. So if he tolerates, then he is not doing any further karma. And he should also apply ointment. Tolerating is not sufficient. One should tolerate. At the same time, one should also apply the suitable ointment for the itch. Then the disease is cured, when the desire goes away. So tolerating is tapasya and devotional service is ointment. So one should put the ointment of devotional service chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Right? And also hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the ointment, this is the medicine. So if one does this regularly, one can feel the desires go away. But if one is not tolerating and is not hearing and chanting also, then his desires will blaze like fire, it will increase, and the itches will become intolerable and he will indulge more and more, and then it will become very difficult. So Hiranyakashipu was dissatisfied because instead of controlling his senses, he remained a servant. So the main thing is to control one's senses. Right? So in this way, and he started, Hiranyakashipu thus passed a long time being very much proud of his opulences. Right? So that greed of power, he got power, then he became proud. Right? And in that pride, he started transgressing the laws and regulations mentioned in the authoritative Shastras. He started breaking the rules of the Shastras. Right? By breaking the rules of the government, one may escape the law, but one cannot escape the universal law. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu was breaking all the rules, but he didn't know that there is somebody above him who is watching all this and who is going to give the reactions. So ultimately, all the devatas, they went to Lord Vishnu for help. And then the Lord Vishnu said, don't worry, I will handle the situation. So, the voice of the Lord vibrated as follows: Ma Bhaishta, do not fear. He said, O best of the learned persons, do not fear. I wish all good fortune to you. Become my devotees by hearing and chanting about me and offering me prayers. For these are certainly meant to award benedictions to all living entities. I know all about the activities of Hiranyakashipu and I shall surely stop them very soon. Please wait patiently until that time. So this is our Lord gave assurance. Right? So, whenever there is any danger, the shelter for the devotees is the Supreme Lord. Any kind of danger, it can be physical danger or danger on the mental platform or national emergencies. The only shelter is Supreme Lord. Right? So, even now the war has begun, it has got intensified. Right? The India-Pakistan war has got intensified. So, we are not there in the border, we are here sitting peacefully hearing Krishna Katha. We can have this Bhagavatam class peacefully because somebody is there protecting. Yesterday night I called the devotee who is on the battlefield. It was night 10:30, I called him. I said, Hare Krishna, yes, how are you? She is telling that Puri, war has got intensified. And when he said this, I could hear the defense systems shooting weapons. So night 10:30, it was intense. I could hear the shouts in the phone. He said, I cannot describe much on phone, but it is intense and we need all your prayers. So it's intense, and they can't sleep also peacefully. How can they sleep? Probably you take rest, we are here, don't worry. Hare Krishna. So very touching. I said, our prayers are with you. So we'll all pray for not only this devotee, but all the army who are there on the border, who are sacrificing their life and sleep for us, so that we can have. See, Kshatriyas are very important. Without Kshatriyas, Brahmanas can't survive. Right? And without Brahmana, Kshatriyas will not have any direction. So both have to coexist. Right? So the devotees should read Shastras, should preach Shastras. This is also a war. We should preach and propagate the Sanatana Dharma, the principles of Krishna consciousness, the principles of true love, compassion, and service to the Lord. But this cannot happen effectively unless there is protection from the Kshatriyas. So the role of Kshatriyas is also very, very important. So in the past also we see that how if one Kshatriya becomes a devotee, then entire country becomes so peaceful and happy. Duryodhana is a non-devotee and there is so much problem in the country. And when Yudhishthira became the king, you see so much peace in the country. The lands were producing abundant grains, the trees were giving fruits, the rivers were full of nectar and water, the mountains were giving wonderful jewelries and gold and silver. So in this way the whole world was happy in the rule of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So when such a Kshatriya is ruling, then it is very peaceful. But for such Kshatriyas to be in power, they also have to defend and fight against the opposing elements. Right? Even Yudhishthira Maharaj appointed kings, his brothers, to go to different directions and make peace, keep peace. Even Lord Ramachandra sent all his brothers to different directions to curb the envious elements. Right? Governance means they have to be very alert, and when any envious or evil elements come, they have to immediately curb it, and that requires force. Right? Sometimes people say Bhagavad Gita ye Shanti ka message hai. Shanti ka message hai, but at the end Arjuna had to fight, isn't it? In general, devotee should be peaceful. We are peaceful. We are peace loving. But in case any aggressor comes to disturb, then one cannot be peaceful. One cannot say, okay, come and kill me. No, one has to protect. Isn't it? There are 6 types of aggressors. Right? Who are those? Yeah? One who sets fire to your home, he is an aggressor. Second, one who tries to kill you. Then, one who kidnaps your wife. Then, one who steals your land. Right? Then one who gives poison, correct? One who gives poison. One who attacks. So this is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. When the son of Drona punished, they are called as Atatai. Yes. This man, Ashwatthama, is an assassin and murderer of your own family members. Not only that, but he has also dissatisfied his master. But he is but the burnt remnants of his family. Kill him immediately. So he is an aggressor. Atatai Atma Bandhuha, he says. And Prabhupada says that there are 6 types of aggressors who need to be curbed and they can be killed also. So they are called as Atatai. And you will see all 6 kinds of aggressions happen against Pandavas. They set fire to their home. They poisoned Bhima. They tried to disrobe Draupadi, insult her publicly. Then they tried to steal their property, the land. And what else they did? They tried to trouble them in the forest also. Right? So in this way, anybody who does this 6 kind of aggression, one has the right to defend, and there is no sin incurred in defending or even killing that opponent. If somebody tries to kill us and in defense if we kill him, then there is no offense, because it is the act of self-defense. So, and they killed the children also, right? Ashwatthama, while the children were sleeping, he murdered them, butchered them, cut their head, and took the head to Duryodhana. Such a heinous murder. Right? Similarly, what the terrorists did in Pahalgam is not a small thing. People who are just relaxing and having a good time, they're just coming and killing. So there's aggression, the act of aggression. And killing such aggressors is not considered to be sinful. In fact, they have committed such a grievous crime that they have to suffer in hell for a long time. Better they get punished in this life. So that's why the kings used to award punishment immediately, without delay. Instant punishment was given in the previous times. So the delay is not acceptable. So the 6 kind of aggressors were there. And Hiranyakashipu also tried to do such an act. Later on you will see that he tried to kill his own son, innocent 5-year-old boy. It is not an act of aggression. Killing his own boy just because he is not chanting Hiranyakashipu Namah, he is chanting Om Namo Narayana. Because of this small mistake, Hiranyakashipu tried to kill him. Then Lord Nrsimha came and protected. So, of course, we will read this in the tomorrow session. Nrsimha is coming. So, I just wanted to explain how Hiranyakashipu was greedy and he wanted to be the king of the entire world. And because of this greed, he became proud also. Then he tried to break the laws of nature. And then he troubled all the people on earth and even the Devatas. And Devatas appealed to the Lord, and the Lord assured them that he is going to come soon and help. So then the Devatas became a little confident, and then they went back. And eventually, when Prahlad was troubled, then he came. When Hiranyakashipu teases the great devotee Prahlad, his own son, who is peaceful and sober and who has no enemy, I shall kill Hiranyakashipu immediately, despite the benedictions of Brahma. Right? So, Lord was also tolerating. But when he troubled Prahlad, he could not tolerate. Right? So then Lord came personally and annihilated him. So this is how dear Prahlad was to Lord Hiranyakashipu. Okay? Hare Krishna. So I'd like to pause here. So we have 2-3 minutes. Anybody has any comments or questions? Before that, let's chant once Hare Krishna mantra for all the people on the border. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, good.
While mentioning about the Hiranyakashipu, he terrorized all the different planets. So even the demigods, everyone was taking his name except Brahma Vishnu. So that time Narada also tells that he also took his name. So if we just see all the demigods, they have the middle body. Narada has the spiritual body. There is no fear for him. Or look at he is always chanting the name of God. So why you have to take him?
Yeah, sometimes it happens, Prabhupada says. Right? Sometimes you have to align with the ruler at the time. Till the time Supreme Lord comes and rectifies the situation. Right? I give example of Rupa Sanatana Goswami also. That how they are forced. Otherwise, if they rejected the proposal, offer of Navabhushan threatened that I will kill other Hindus. He said that I will kill other Hindus. For the safety of other people in general, Rupa and Sanatana Goswami agreed to serve Navabhushan temporarily. They are not happy. They are looking for an opportunity to get out. So Narada was not happy glorifying Hiranyakashipu. That's what it means. And they are waiting for a moment when they will become free from these clutches of Hiranyakashipu. So then he had confidence that Lord will come and rectify the situation. Isn't it? Sometimes it happens, not all the time. It may happen with us also, who knows. Although you want to chant Hare Krishna, but somebody may force you to chant some other mantra. But one should have faith and one should pray to the Lord in the heart. And the devotee was telling yesterday, Prabhuji, I have to chant, but I have to sleep also. I think I will sleep because if I don't sleep, then tomorrow I cannot do my duty. I said, do you sleep? Mahamanusmari, that you think of Krishna, that is good enough. You think of Krishna and do your duty. Right? Arjuna was not having a bead bag in the battlefield. In the battlefield, that's your beads. Shooting guns. There is a nice book written by Daniel Maharaj. When I am attacked, I will chant Hare Krishna. He was recruited with the army of Israeli army. They recruited him and he was fighting for the army. So, and he was there. He was sannyasi, but he was appointed there because everybody had to go for some time, 1 year, 2 years like that. And he was there in the battalion and the war was happening. And if attacked, I will chant Hare Krishna. There's a nice small book you can read. A small pocket book. In 1 hour you can read that book. It's a very small book. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.